Welcome to Petty Talks with Deja. Okay, y'all, we really got to talk about Pinky Cole and Phaedra because this whole situation, it started off shady, but then it turned into like business drama, wigs, Maury, tennis ball insults. Like everybody really went there. So this really starts because Phaedra starts playing with Pinky's business. She brings up the whole meat conversation, basically making people question whether Pinky is really a vegan. Now, let's be honest, if your entire brand is the slutty vegan, then it's not really just a little joke, because we all know that Pinky, she lives, sleeps, eats, breathes being a vegan. So I think for her, she thought it can really mess with your reputation, your credibility, and just your money. And honestly, that's probably why Pinky reacted so hard. Because it's not Phaedra just making one shady comment. Pinky has already had people online questioning her about her employees suing her for not getting their accurate pay, the MLM accusations. People already side eyeing her, whether she's authentic. So now Phaedra comes in and is adding to that. And it definitely probably stung. So Pinky was basically like, if you're going to play with my business, then I'm going to play with yours, which is why she came back with the whole Phaedra eats dead people line. Because what she was saying is, if you're questioning my vegan business, then I'm going to question your funeral home business. It was definitely very intentional, very petty. I'm going to be honest. It did go over my head a little bit because I was like, Phaedra eats dead people. But when she said, you're going to mess with my business, I'm going to mess with your business, I definitely understood because Phaedra is a funeral home director. So it made sense. But Pinky didn't stop there. She also, on that scene with her, with Pinky, K. Michelle, and Cynthia, started talking about Phaedra's wigs, basically saying her wigs look horrible. And that's where it really took it from business to personal. Because now we're not talking about the slutty vegan anymore. We're talking about lace fronts. And of course, because this is Phaedra, she's not about to sit there and let Pinky talk. So Phaedra actually addressed Pinky's wig comments after watching the episode, by pulling photos of herself with really nice wigs on. Basically, like, my wigs are fine. If I'm being honest, I don't like Phaedra's new look. This might, just be my opinion, but her look looks very fake. When Phaedra first came onto the show, she looked okay. She looked like a very nice lady. She did look older than she was, because I would think however old she is now, that's however old she was when she came into the show. But with Phaedra kind of getting like her glow up after she left Apollo, and like it seemed like when Portia started having her like hot girl awakening, Phaedra, because they were freaking frack at that point, she kind of had hers too, and then King, she did the little shady thing where she had like the little lace body dress and then the booty shorts, the booty pads, and she walked into the church and was like, I'm a fake church lady. And from there, because Phaedra, she looked really nice in that, but in that era, but now it's kind of giving Phaedra with these blonde wigs and like the puffed up lips with lip injections. It's just like, it doesn't really fit her, but anyways, so Phaedra, she turned around and she called Pinky a bald-headed tennis ball. Now listen, that was shady, that was mean, but I'm not even gonna lie, it was honestly funny because that's the type of stuff that I want to see on the show. What really took me out from this like online beef was Pinky decided to bring Maury into this. Maury Povich. She really had Maury do a lie detector test trying to prove that she doesn't eat meat. And he did his standard, like, in the case of Pinky eating meat, we determined that is a lie or whatever. And honestly, for me, she really had Maury, do the lie detector test, and I get what she was trying to do with that. She wanted to do like a big, see, I told y'all moment, like, I don't eat meat. But my only issue is, we all know that Maury was messy, and we all know that he was dramatic. And let's be honest, most of us know that the Maury show was not the gold standard of telling the truth. So instead of clearing her name, for some people, it probably made them side eye her more, just like me. Like, we all know that was fake. Maury was like giving people like $250, $300 to appear on his show. So girl, like that was not like you maybe should have took an actual lie detector test. You know, we probably would have believed that more. Because now it kind of becomes like, are you proving something or are you like overcompensating? And when people already think that you might be dishonest, sometimes doing the most definitely can backfire. Let me be clear though, Phaedra can be messy. She was absolutely being messy in that moment. She knew exactly what she was doing, but Pinky may have like overplayed her hand, because once you go from like defending yourself to Maury, people start to like kind of ask more questions. So honestly, this whole situation stopped being about me. Just a minute ago, it became about reputation. Phaedra questioned Pinky's business. Pinky questioned Phaedra's uh, wigs, her eating dead people. Phaedra said something about bald-headed tennis balls, and then Maury showed up. Like, it was absolute chaos. But let me know what y'all think. Did Phaedra go too far? Did Pinky overreact and was overcompensating? And let's be honest, did Maury help or did he make the situation worse? But this has been Petty Talks with Deja, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.